I've always been a runner. Since middle school, I've found peace pounding pavement with nothing but the rhythm of my breath and my shoes hitting the road. It's my therapy, my way to stay focused and grounded. So when the pandemic hit and gyms closed, I wasn't too bothered. I just doubled down on outdoor running. We live in a pretty rural part of Ohio, not cornfields and tractors rural, but enough back roads and wooded stretches that things can feel real isolated, real fast. It started in early spring, March or April. I was 24 at the time, living at home to save money while I worked a remote IT job. I would head out for my jog every evening around 6:30. Same routine. Loop through the neighborhood, down the long stretch of Oakview Drive, then cut through the edge of the woods behind the old water tower and back home. It was a solid 5 miles. I liked that time of day. Quiet, golden hour light, fewer people around. The first time I noticed the red sedan, I didn't think much of it. Just some older car parked at the bend in the road, half on the gravel shoulder. I passed it, kept going. But then it was there again the next day, and the day after that. Always in the same spot, engine off, no one inside. It wasn't unusual for cars to be pulled over in that area. Sometimes folks walked their dogs nearby. But this car, it gave me a weird feeling. I told myself it was nothing. Just someone's beater they left there. Maybe a high schooler trying to avoid parking tickets. I didn't want to be paranoid. Then one evening, I saw him. I was finishing up my run and taking my usual turn off Oakview into the wooded path. That's when I noticed movement near the car. A man, tall, lanky, wearing a brown jacket, was standing by the driver's side door, facing the woods. He didn't move when I jogged past. I gave a casual nod, the way runners sometimes do, but he didn't even glance at me. Just kept standing there, not walking, not getting in the car, just standing, like he was waiting for something. That night, I couldn't sleep. My mind kept going back to the man and that damn car. I decided to mix things up the next day and run earlier in the afternoon. I didn't see the car. But the day after that, when I went back to my usual 6:30 route, the red sedan was there again. This time, it was parked a few hundred feet further up Oakview, and it wasn't empty. The man was inside, hands gripping the wheel, staring straight ahead. I slowed slightly as I passed, trying not to make it obvious. I caught just a glimpse of his face, unshaven, hollow cheeks, eyes like glass. Blank, watching but not seeing. I picked up my pace. I told my parents about it over dinner that night. My mom got that worried look she always gets and told me to stop running that route. My dad's response was more direct. Bring pepper spray, maybe even my pocket knife. So the next evening, I took a different route entirely. No Oakview, no water tower, just a loop around the housing development on the other side of the highway. And I felt fine. Until, near the end of my run, I saw the red sedan parked across from our neighborhood entrance. The man wasn't inside. I made it home in record time, heart slamming against my ribs. That night, I moved my pocket knife from my drawer to my running vest. I even considered carrying my dad's old revolver, but decided that would be overkill. For the next few days, the sedan disappeared. I started to relax, thinking maybe whoever it was had moved on. Maybe it really was just some harmless drifter. But then, the notes started. The first one was taped to our mailbox, just a sticky note with the words, "Good pace today." The second showed up inside our mailbox 2 days later. "Why don't you smile when you run?" That night, I sat on the porch with a bat until midnight. Nothing happened. I reported it to the local sheriff. He took my statement and said he'd keep an eye out. But without a plate number or anything concrete, there wasn't much he could do. I stopped running for a week, stayed inside, tried to keep my head down. But the restlessness got to me. I needed to move, to breathe again. so I decided to run in broad daylight, 2 p.m. on a Saturday, when the roads were busy. No red sedan. I started running in the afternoons exclusively after that. The paranoia faded little by little, and I even left my knife at home a couple of times. Things felt normal again. Until last Thursday. I had gotten off a long Zoom meeting and needed to blow off steam, so I broke my routine and went for a jog around 6 p.m. It was cloudy, the sky a dull gray. As I turned onto Oakview, I felt that old itch at the back of my neck. There it was, the red sedan, parked just beyond the bend. Except this time, the driver's door was open. I froze. I scanned the woods, the road, and the tall grass by the ditch. Then I heard it. Footsteps. Not on the road, but behind me. I spun around. Nothing. Then a shape darted across the path, maybe 20 yards back. I bolted, sprinting, lungs burning, heart pounding against my chest. I didn't look back. Not once. I burst through our front door and locked it behind me, collapsing onto the living room floor. That night, I didn't sleep. Around 2 a.m., I peeked out the blinds of my bedroom window. A red sedan was parked across the street. I called the sheriff again. This time, they sent a patrol car, but of course, by the time it arrived, the car was gone. Yesterday, I installed security cameras around our house, motion sensors, floodlights, the works. I haven't run since. Today, I found a third note tucked under the windshield of my car. You run faster when you're scared. This story doesn't end with an arrest, or a confrontation, or a clean resolution. It ends with a man too afraid to go for a jog, constantly checking over his shoulder, wondering what he did to deserve the attention of someone who hasn't said a single word aloud. I don't know who he is. I don't know what he wants. But I know he's watching. And I'm done pretending I'm not afraid. If there's a message to this story, it's this. If something feels off, it probably is. Don't dismiss your gut. Don't wait until it's too late. Because sometimes, the scariest monsters don't hide under your bed. They park just down the road and wait. Before we dive into the next story, if you're here for the first time, please consider subscribing to our channel and clicking the bell icon so you won't miss any of our upcoming stories. Your support truly encourages us and helps this channel continue to grow. And don't forget to share these stories with your friends and family. Thank you.